I'm Paige Crawford with NBC 17 Morning News. Welcome. Thanks so much for joining us. Joining me now is Jennifer Schultz with the North Carolina Veterinary Medical Association. Thanks so much for joining us.
Yes, absolutely.
So we're here talking today, as you guys all know. I'm expecting, Jennifer here has 2 young children of her own, and we're talking about getting your pets acclimated to the new baby, which can kind of be crazy in some households. Jennifer, tell us about bringing home a dog with a new baby.
Well, it depends on if you're bringing home a new dog or if there's an established pet in your household. Obviously, if you have an established pet, you want to make sure they still feel important and part of your family and they still get attention. But it's a slow process, and you just need to make sure that you never leave the baby or your toddler alone with your dog, and that you show them that they are part of the family and that you love them both.
And like, what's the difference in dogs and cats?
So cats are usually more standoffish anyway. So they may not want to come up to your baby or until they're a little bit older, but certainly if you have a toddler, you don't want to let them pull your cat's tail or pull on their ears. Even if the cat seems okay with that, that's just never good to let your child get used to that.
I think we have all heard those rumors that you're supposed to let dad bring home something from the hospital for the dog to smell. Do you recommend that?
Smelling is good. That gets them used to those scents and noises and everything. But I think most important, until your baby's a little bit older, like probably in the 2 to 3 month, unless your dog is super used to being around infants, to not really let them sniff or get right up in the baby's face, because that can be alarming for the infant who then screams, and that's a new noise for the dog too. But yeah, certainly getting them used to the smells and sights and sounds of the baby and the baby's stuff is important.
So maybe there is some truth to those videos you play for your dog all day that have baby noises. Have you heard of this?
I haven't heard of that, but if there's anything related to your pets and your kids, probably someone has come up with it, just because that's such a big part of our lives. But yeah, any of those baby noises, the baby's crying, that's something your dog's never heard before. They got to get used to that.
Now, what about, I know more and more people are doing birds and snakes and things like that. What about exotic pets and babies?
Exotic pets and babies you have to be scared of. A lot of birds and reptiles are more prone to salmonella, which can cause really serious intestinal issues in babies. So I would not let any young kid under the age of 5 probably play with any of those animals, just because their immune systems aren't set up for that.
Yeah, and of course, wash your hands after you play with your lizard before you go pick up the baby. But anyway, thanks for joining us. I'm Paige Crawford with NBC 17 News. This is Jennifer Schultz. We'll be right back. Welcome back to NBC 17 today. Joining us this morning is Jennifer Schultz with the North Carolina Veterinary Medical Association. Thanks so much for joining us today,
Absolutely.
Jennifer. We're talking today, as you all know, I'm expecting my 3rd baby. Jennifer here is not only a veterinarian, but the mother of 2 youngsters, and we're talking about pets and babies today, because I know that can be a big change for a family, bringing a baby home with your animal. Tell us about that.
So anytime you're bringing your baby home to an established dog or cat in your household, that's a big change for them, and you want to make sure that's a slow introduction of the new sights and sounds, and that you're dividing your attention and not ignoring your pet completely.
So what should I do if I'm a first-time parent, I'm bringing home my baby, and I have 2 dogs at home? What do you recommend for mom coming home, bringing the baby home?
Yeah, so I think before you even bring the baby home, exposing your dogs to some other, even toddlers or infants, if your friends have some, is good. And then slowly, let them smell the baby's blanket, let them see you holding it, praise your dog when they're good around your infant or child, because that's really important, so they know what you want.
So what if I already know that I have a dog that doesn't care for kids? What should I do there?
I would keep them separated. I mean, your dog is going to have their own things. You're not going to train them to really like children. That's not their personality. So realize that your dog should never be unsupervised with your child. Don't force your child on them. Don't let them pull on their fur or their tail or their ears or any of those things. And just respect that your dog needs their own space.
And what about different breeds of dogs? Is there different breeds that you think would react differently to babies?
Certainly some breeds are more calm and easygoing as a general rule, your labs and golden retrievers, but any individual dog in a breed can have their own, I don't like that. Some of them are better than others. I've seen labs that were very upset around children and aggressive, and I've seen pit bulls that are really sweet and would lick your child in the face and be just fine with it. So it's really, you have to assess not only the breed, but the individual dog.
And how do cats and dogs differ?
Cats are more standoffish from people in general, so most cats aren't gonna want to come up and play with your kid, but you definitely don't let your kid pull on their tail or pull on their ears. And the same rule, never leave your cat around your child unsupervised either.
And I know my toddler absolutely loves the dog toys and sometimes wants to play with the dog toys herself, but I know sometimes babies' toys can be really interesting to dogs. What do you do in that case?
So dogs eating babies' toys is a problem because the baby's toys are smaller and they could get stuck in their intestine and really cause a serious intestinal surgery that would be really bad for the dog. So try to keep your kids' toys off the floor or block your dogs off from where your kids' toys are laying all over the floors. Same thing with pacifiers because they can easily get stuck in there.
Awesome, great advice. If you are expecting a baby and you're getting ready to bring a baby home, ways to keep them safe around the new baby, and just bring harmony to your home with kids and pets. For NBC 17 News today, I'm Paige Crawford.